guys, how you doing? This is Manga, etc. and I'm here today to bring the review for One Piece episode 984. Now, for better or worse, this episode did add some things that weren't in the manga, and now when I initially watched the episode, I was like, I wasn't mad, I wasn't salty or anything like that, but I was thinking maybe they shouldn't have done that. But upon having time to think about it, I feel like it's cool. Like it's fine. Everything they did was fine. Maybe a little bit shaky, but I'm more side of it being. I'm more side of it being neutral. Of me being at neutral at zero, rather than me being completely hating on it or just mad about it at all. And I will explain about that as I go on into the review. And I want to say here, right here and now, for anime only watchers, this this review will contain spoilers for the manga. I can't say minor. I cannot say minor, but there will be spoilers for the manga. I will give a signal for when it's safe to watch. I'll give a signal for when I'm going into the spoilers, and a signal again for when it's safe to watch it, or there'll be a timestamp within the description, but there'll be some indication of there'll be a way to watch this video without being spoiled, basically, so don't feel like you need to click off, and the majority of the video will be spoiler free. It's just one little thing I have to address. But let's get into the review. So we have Orochi. He's partying with his ladies, living his best life right now. He feels good, not having to worry that, because in his eyes, in his mind, the threat's been dealt with, so he's good. He's free to party. Fair enough. Yeah, he's good. So one thing that the anime added that the manga did not show, which is very meh at the end of the day, is the whole kid going away, Luffy chasing after the kid, Zoro chasing after the kid. I mean, Zoro chasing after Luffy. That wasn't shown in the manga. In the manga, we're just told this happens via Jinbe. So because it is something that does essentially happen, be it off screen in the manga, it's fine to show it in the anime, at least in my mind. So we get to see that. So another thing that was added within the episode, not in the manga, is the whole Kiku worrying about Luffy. And now, at the end of the day, I don't think this really adds anything to the episode or overall really, but it does show just how much within the short time. Yeah, well, I don't know actually how much time has passed. Obviously, in real time for us, like it's been ages since Law and Luffy have aligned with each other. But when you actually look at the context of the story, like how much time in One Piece world has passed since Punk Hazard to now in Wano? If you guys know, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to know that. But yeah, in my eyes, Law and Luffy haven't been together for long, and Law was also missing from Whole Cake Island as well. So to build up that trust, for Law to be able to trust in Luffy and just know what he's about, and like don't worry about him, he'll be fine. Kind of touching. So there was that bit to the episode as well. So Luffy walking around by himself, I think that was added. I'm pretty sure it was added. I'm more than 50% sure that it was added into this episode. And now I like it because you see Luffy getting mad about the portion of, because at the end of the day, yeah, Luffy is here to help out our friends. This fight has nothing to do with him. He has no stakes within it. He didn't experience any of the pain or the suffering that Kinemon and etc. had to go through. But however, he has witnessed firsthand the suffering of some of the people in Wano, and now this is the bit of the fight he can relate to because he's experienced it, he's seen it, he can because he's experienced it, he can feel for the people a bit more. So this is the stake of the fight that he has this is a piece of the fight that he has. This is the bit of the fight he has like a link to, a link to. So it was like a gentle reminder. It was like for Luffy in this episode, it was like a general reminder of the link of the fight he got into, so he can get more motivated to fight. That's why I like this bit of the episode. Similar vibe to the Zoro stuff as well, which I'm gonna touch on a bit more in a sec. So we also have Kinemon. We see Kinemon and Momo in this episode as well, and this is where we basically find out that he has not been able to get to Orochi to warn Orochi that Kinemon and company are still active. They are en route, and we also find out that not everybody knows about Kanjuro being the snitch. The lower members of the crew, Kaido's crew, doesn't know this, and rightly so. So, so he's having a bit of trouble navigating and finding his way to Orochi right now. And it also seems like Momo is thinking small, trying to think of ways to get away from Kanjuro, because as he sees the dagger on the floor, he's like, yo, maybe I can use that. So we have that as well. So we have the reveal of the Black Rhino and the tank. And now, being not a fan of Frankie and his mechs, of Frankie's mechs rather, this bit of the episode was pretty meh for me. We have that classic Sanji humor, you know, him wanting to be with the ladies, but he couldn't be within this episode, you know, that's Usopp's jobs right now. But what I found a bit more funny than that was the whole cock block from Brooke within this episode, where Frankie rode off on the motorbike, like, yo, Robin, hop on, and then Brooke hops on instead. And it's sorry, bro. Like, you know, let's have some romance. Let's have some bromance. So I found that felt a bit funnier rather than the Sanji stuff, because we always get the Sanji stuff. You understand what I'm trying to say? But overall, you know, I wasn't really feeling that bit of the episode. So I think I've touched upon. Okay, yeah. So this is where things get a bit messy. Get a bit messy. So I feel like I can say this next bit without going into manga spoilers. So anime only watchers, you're good here. So at the very end of this scene, we see somebody watching over Jinbe and Robin. Now, in the manga, even to this day, it hasn't been revealed who that person was. But based on how it was revealed to us within this episode that somebody was watching the Straw Hats, we now know, manga readers now know who that person was. So for a manga reader, that was probably a bit of a no-no for the episode. For me personally, being a manga reader and anime watcher, I can understand why it's a bit of a no-no, but you gotta look at it through the eyes of an anime only watcher, which I did for that bit. So I'll put myself in the mindset of an anime only watcher, and now seeing who it is, being an anime only watcher, it ruins absolutely nothing. As far as I'm concerned, it ruins absolutely nothing. It's just a person there watching the Straw Hats makes you think, yo, why are you watching the Straw Hats? Now, as a manga reader, it kind of confuses me, because now that I know who it was back then, watching them now, it makes me think, why didn't they act earlier? Why did they wait this length of time? Because there's a length of time between now and when we actually see this person for the first time within the manga. There's quite a few chapters in between that, so it makes me question, like, why the big gap as a manga reader? Okay, so that's said and done. So I don't think that was I don't think that was spoiler. It's a very minor spoiler, very minor spoiler. But I don't think it takes anything away from the manga or the anime. If I'm honest, if anything, it just causes confusion. So the Zoro stuff within the episode. So I like the Zoro stuff for the very same reasons I said I like the Luffy stuff within this episode. But what we see in this episode, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, this is an indication of spoilers for the manga to come. No, can I do it like this? Okay, I'm gonna start talking about stuff that could be considered spoilers, manga spoilers. So when I put the finger down, you need to mute the video. When I put the finger back up, it's okay to unmute the video. The finger has gone down. Okay. So in this episode, Zoro uses Conqueror's Haki, but wait, hold on. Did he use Conqueror's Haki? Did he use Conqueror's Haki? Because as far as I'm concerned, it's only indicated within the episode that he used Conqueror's Haki. Same way that it was only indicated within the manga chapter 1010, I do believe it was, that Zoro used Conqueror's Haki. Because in the manga, it's not confirmed in any sense of the word. It's not confirmed by any character. It's not confirmed by Zoro himself. It's not confirmed by the narrator. It's not confirmed by Oda that Zoro uses Conqueror's Haki. This is all headcanon for us right now, because in the manga, Zoro uses the attack. I'm not going to spoil the attack. He uses the attack on Kaido. Kaido says, yo, wait. Was that Conqueror's Haki? Zoro says, I don't know what you're talking about. And therefore, everybody in the fandom jumped on the bandwagon. Zoro's got Conqueror's Haki. Nobody confirmed it. It still hasn't been confirmed that Zoro has Conqueror's Haki. And it's because of that, because we have no confirmation, that's why I can't be mad about what happened within this episode. Because if you take that bit away, become an anime only watcher in this instant, it's the exact same thing. There has been no confirmation that Zoro in that moment used Conqueror's Haki. It could have been somebody else. It could be something else. There is no confirmation that Zoro used Conqueror's Haki in that moment. And why I say that is because what didn't we get within that moment? The Conqueror's Haki sound effect. There was no Conqueror's Haki sound effect within that moment. So it's for those reasons I can't be mad at this moment. If all this moment does within this episode is the same thing that chapter 1010 did for us, just at an earlier stage. Because once we read chapter 1010, it was like, oh my gosh, Zoro's got Conqueror's Haki, yet it hasn't been confirmed for us. Now anime only watchers are doing the same thing, just at an earlier stage. That is my thought process on the whole thing. And now for manga readers, you might get a bit mad because something hinting towards Zoro having Conqueror's Haki was shown earlier than the original hint that was thrown to us through Oda. But at the end of the day, you can just say that this is more fuel for the fire to confirm that Zoro has Conqueror's Haki, and that's why I feel like you should not be salty about that bit of the episode. So that is everything I got to say about this episode. Like I said at the very beginning of the episode, this episode adds some things for better for worse. You decide. I am going to give this. Oh, so another thing that I want to say that I really liked about this episode is the strobe. I think it's called the strobe effect. The strobe effect that they use on the episode. I can really feel like in Onigashishima there's a party going on right now, more so than I did feeling in the manga presently. I'm going to give it a three, no, four. I'll give it a 4-star rating. I think this was a good episode. 4-star rating and call it a review. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.